accepting the flow of life. There is a quiet pattern moving through every human life, a pattern so consistent and universal that it often goes unnoticed, even as it shapes every experience we have. It is the rhythm of change, the steady unfolding of events, relationships, opportunities, and endings that together create the story of a life. Whether we recognize it or not, we are always participating in this movement. From the moment we are born, life begins to move us through seasons. Childhood gives way to adolescence. Adolescence transforms into adulthood, and each stage brings new perspectives, responsibilities, and challenges. Friendships form and sometimes fade. Dreams evolve. Priorities shift. Circumstances change in ways we could not have predicted. Yet, despite the inevitability of change, much of human suffering comes from our resistance to it. We tend to imagine that stability means permanence. When something feels good, a relationship, a job, a sense of identity, we naturally want it to remain unchanged. We build expectations around it, and those expectations slowly turn into attachments. Over time, we begin to believe that our security depends on things staying exactly as they are. But life does not operate according to our preferences. It operates according to growth. In nature, growth is never static. A forest is not preserved by preventing change. It is sustained by cycles of expansion, decay, renewal, and transformation. Leaves fall so that new ones can grow. Rivers carve new paths over time, reshaping entire landscapes without force or urgency, simply through persistence. The ocean does not resist the tide as it recedes. It participates in a rhythm larger than any single wave. Human life follows the same principle, although we often struggle to accept it. When change arrives unexpectedly, through loss, disappointment, uncertainty, or failure, it can feel deeply personal. We interpret events as proof that something has gone wrong or that we have somehow lost control. In those moments, the instinct is to tighten our grip, to analyze every detail, to search for ways to restore what once felt stable. Yet this tightening rarely brings peace. More often, it increases anxiety and prolongs suffering. Acceptance, in its truest sense, is not passive resignation. It is a conscious recognition that change is not an interruption of life. It is the very mechanism through which life unfolds. To accept the flow of life means to understand that every chapter, even the difficult ones, contributes to a broader process of becoming. Consider the moments in your own life that once felt overwhelming. A career setback that forced you to reconsider your direction. The end of a relationship that reshaped your understanding of love. A period of uncertainty that challenged your confidence and demanded resilience. At the time, those experiences may have felt like disruptions. Yet with distance, it often becomes clear that they redirected you toward growth that comfort alone could not have produced. This perspective does not eliminate pain, but it changes its meaning. Pain, when resisted, becomes suffering. Pain, when acknowledged and allowed, becomes information. It signals that something is shifting, that an old structure may no longer fit, that a deeper transformation is underway. By accepting this, we move from asking why something is happening to us, toward asking what it might be teaching us. There is a subtle but powerful difference between control and participation. Control attempts to dictate outcomes. to eliminate uncertainty, and to guarantee specific results. Participation, on the other hand, involves showing up fully while recognizing that not every variable is within our command. When we shift from control to participation, we begin to experience life less as a battlefield and more as a collaboration. This does not mean abandoning goals or ambition. It means holding them with flexibility. It means understanding that the path toward any meaningful outcome is rarely linear. Detours are not necessarily mistakes. They are often adjustments guiding us toward greater alignment. What appears to be a delay may be preparation. What feels like rejection may be redirection. Acceptance also transforms our relationship with identity. Throughout life, we construct images of who we believe we are, our roles, achievements, beliefs, and narratives. Yet as circumstances change, these identities are tested. The career that once defined us may end. The environment that shaped us may shift. The version of ourselves we worked hard to become may no longer reflect who we are evolving into. Resisting this evolution can create deep internal conflict. Accepting it allows for renewal. Just as nature transitions through seasons without apology, human beings are meant to grow beyond earlier versions of themselves. Letting go of outdated identities is not a loss of self. It is an expansion of it. The willingness to release what no longer fits creates space for something more authentic to emerge. The flow of life also teaches patience. Not every transformation is immediate. Some changes unfold gradually, beneath the surface, long before visible results appear. A seed does not break through the soil the moment it is planted. It develops roots first, unseen but essential. In the same way, periods of waiting are not empty, they are often foundational. When we accept this, we begin to trust timing rather than fear it. Trust does not imply certainty about the future. Rather, it reflects confidence in our capacity to adapt. The same resilience that carried us through past challenges remains available in the present. Recognizing this reduces the urgency to control every outcome and strengthens our ability to navigate uncertainty with steadiness. Ultimately, accepting the flow of life is an act of alignment with reality. It is the acknowledgement that change is constant, that growth requires release, and that uncertainty is not the opposite of security but a pathway to it. When we stop fighting the natural rhythm of expansion and contraction, we conserve energy that would otherwise be spent on resistance. In that conserved energy, clarity emerges. We begin to see that not every ending is a failure. Not every setback is permanent. Not every unexpected turn is a deviation from our path. Often, these moments are the path. Life continues to move, whether we resist it or cooperate with it. The difference lies in our experience of the journey. Resistance creates friction. Acceptance creates flow. To accept the flow of life is to remain open, even when circumstances shift. It is to act with intention while releasing the illusion of total control. It is to understand that while we cannot always choose what happens, we can choose how we respond. And in that response lies freedom. Because when we align ourselves with the natural movement of change, we discover that life is not something happening against us, but something unfolding through us, steadily, intelligently, and often more wisely than we could have planned. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.